We're going to go ahead and get ready. So if your hearts are ready, ours are ready to give. So Rita, let's just go ahead and get started because this is a fantastical Fed Friday.
Come on, y'all, get started moving something. Come on.
Yes. Here we go. Here we go. Soon as I can get it to go. Wait a minute, I don't think y'all can hear it. I'm going to pump it up a little bit.
Doing my A, I'm a AK. My line name was in the mix. I was about to zig. What? I thought I was at the beatbox. Okay.
That's right, girl. I was like, wait, darling. You going back? You got caught up. And I hope you all enjoy that little move music because right now, you all, it does feel like we are in the eye of the tiger. But guess what? We are tigers. Hear us roar.
Yes.
So we want to get through this. Welcome to Financial Fed Friday, everyone. I just want to thank you. Financial Fed Friday is being brought to you by Affordable Benefit Solutions, Inc. And I am your co-host, Darlene Jenkins, and my other co-host,
Rita B. Rowland.
Dr. Rita B. Rowland, and we are your Financial Fed Friday team. So Financial Fed Friday, the webinar airs on the first and third Friday of the month at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And guess what? We're also broadcast simultaneously on Facebook Live. Welcome all of our Facebook viewers. Please check in. We appreciate you talking to us. When we talk to you, we want you to talk back to us. Leave us a comment right now. If you're watching us on YouTube, go ahead and click, give us the thumbs up and subscribe. Let us know what you think about the information and how we can improve some topics you want to hear. Now, during the Financial Fed Friday broadcast, what we do is that we pull back the curtain so that you can get an in-depth understanding of not only your benefits on the job. If you work for the federal government, that means your federal benefits, but we also help provide some of the best retirement options and solutions for financial situations you may be facing. You can always join us live right here on the webinar. You can register at Rita B. Rowland, that's ROLAND events.com. Or if you're on Facebook, if you're savvy with social media, follow us on Facebook at Your AB Solutions. And of course, if you're watching us on YouTube, give us the thumbs up, hit subscribe, and you can look for us at ABS on YouTube. So what is the whole purpose? Rita, why are we doing this? Our purpose, your Financial Fed Friday team, what we want to do is just help you to understand your benefits you have on the job, the money, your money personality. Let me tell you, if you have not taken that money personality quiz, after this broadcast, head to our website and click on the broadcast and take that quiz so you can better understand your money personality, because your money personality drives your spending habits. And guess what? After you have all of that information, your Financial Fed Friday team, we're here to support and offer solutions that will enable you to reach your financial destination.
Jenkins, doing that 30-day challenge, I think people got an opportunity to see what their money personality was. And many of them that was on the challenge had an opportunity to shift that personality to something maybe that was bad to something was good. If nothing else, they became keenly aware of how they spent their money. So I think without the quiz, some of us that did that challenge, we got a chance to see it for real.
Absolutely. And just to see those, what can I say, little hidden things that weren't those subconscious spending we were, or unconscious spending that we were doing, and things we just hadn't paid any attention to because it's been in us for so long. So you want to go back and we're going to do that 30-day challenge again as soon as we come out of this, not as soon as we come out of this situation, but once we're out, we want to do that again because we halfway through was sort of a forced 30-day no spend challenge, wasn't it, Rita? So we wanted to be more voluntary. It was a lot of fun. We have a great group. As a matter of fact, on Facebook, you can go over to Financial Fed Friday group and join our group. We'll definitely accept you in. Now, before we get into today's episode, I just want to let you know that when we present our webinar, the information that is presented is going to be in a generic approach. Why do we do that? Well, without individual knowledge of each and every person that is watching us on here live, watching us on Facebook, those of you that have come to watch us now on YouTube, we can't customize the presentation to you without actually knowing each individual's situation. So we have to make it very broad. But guess what we can do? You reach out to your Financial Fed Friday team here at Affordable Benefit Solutions on 301-577-6340. Any of the information that we go over that hits a button with you, we can definitely customize it and help you get the solutions that you're looking for. So please accept the information that we're going to cover as general in context and apply it where you feel it meets your needs. So thank you so much for understanding, and we're going to go ahead and jump into the broadcast. So this year's theme for Financial Fed Friday is getting, but physically fit. Let me say that again.
Fiscally.
Not physically, but
we can do that too.
That's a standing theme for me. I don't know about for you. I know we had some healthy people that work out on here all the time, but we want to get fiscally fit. We're getting our money fit. So what does fiscal mean? Well, fiscal is of or relating to taxation, public revenues, or public debt. And during this time with the COVID-19, we are definitely finding out about our debt. Or it's of or relating to financial matters. So guess who's the public? We are. Guess whose financial matters we're here to talk about? Our financial matters. And we want to get them in shape. So right now, as I just previously mentioned, we have a new reality, and it's called COVID-19. This virus, this environment has really forced us to look at what we are doing with our finances and how our past decisions have brought us to the place that's going on now. However, with all of that in place, as many people have not only lost loved ones, then you're crippled with the fact that you've also lost your revenue streams for a lot of people, going through your safety savings if you had them. And so the government has stepped in and they are providing, some relief. The CARES Act was passed to help all of us Americans try to better cope with the effects of COVID-19 and the stress that it's putting on not only the national economy, but our personal economy. So how is the CARES Act impacting our finances? With the CARES Act, who qualifies for the benefits that have been rolled out? And we're going to go through each of them, like mortgage protection, student loans, being able to get stimulus checks. Some of you have already received those checks in the mail. So I'm not in the mail, in your bank account. Now, if you've never had a refund from the Internal Revenue Service, they also have a tool to help you do that. So who's going to qualify for the benefits under the COVID-19? Number one, if you have been diagnosed with the virus, COVID-19, or if you have a spouse or dependent who has been impacted or diagnosed with COVID-19. The things that we're going to be going over, you qualify to get the relief because these things have had an impact on you. If you experience an adverse financial consequence as a result of being quarantined, furloughed, if you got laid off, if you have your work hours reduced because of the disease, this is really hitting hard the service industries and entrepreneurs, small businesses. If you can't work because you don't have child care, you can qualify for some of the relief aid that's being provided. If you own a business, you're a small business owner, you're doing real estate, you're doing Uber, whatever it is, if you have a small business and you have had to reduce your hours, your output, you qualify for the benefits. And the IRS says, well, if you have some other reason that they haven't specifically lined out, they may decide to okay that as well. And they've been pretty lenient, Rita, because a lot
Absolutely.
of people have been impacted.
And I think it's important that that you understand what's out here for you and that you take advantage of it if you need it. But what I will say is that if you don't need it, don't take advantage of it because you can, because there's a lot of people who really do need, and the funds need to be there, not for just people who can do it, but you don't really need it, even if you do qualify. And I know some people probably say, girl, you crazy. I'm gonna get her all I can get. But there's a lot of people that are hurting and they're gonna need this money. So if it's all gone to people who don't really need it, then the people that really do need it, it won't be there for them. There's some things that I can get, but I told Darlene I'm waiting. And I know some people are saying, why would you do that? Because there's a lot of more businesses that don't have the opportunity to still get something or still work and still kind of function. And so we've been blessed. And is it slow? Absolutely. But can we still operate? We can. And so I'm just thinking about all these other businesses, because if they're out of business for real, we're all out of business.
Absolutely. And so we're going to just jump into some of the relief options that have been made available as a result of the CARES Act.
So
So
Jenkins, I don't know about if it's anybody else that can hear her. To me, she sounds a little faded. It could be me. So if you could just chat, if you hear her going in and out, we want to make sure that she's clear. So we're gonna talk about the mortgage help. And what's happening with the mortgage is that they're giving you a mortgage forbearance. And so some of the lenders are allowing you to put your mortgage. And what I'm hearing from a lot of my clients, and even mine, I called them, they gave me the opportunity to do it. Now I'm gonna pay my mortgage on time. I paid it because what they're saying is that we'll give you a break for April, May, and June. But come July, when this is over, your 90 days, they don't just want your July payment and you can stretch out they want all 4 months at one time. And so for me, the fear with that, Darlene, is that there's going to be a bunch of more foreclosure, because if you can't afford your mortgage now each month, what makes them think when July 1 comes that you can come up with, if your mortgage is $2,000 and you can't afford two, what makes them think you're going to afford $8,000 at one time? And a stimulus check of $1,200 is not going to pay a $2,000 mortgage for 3 months or 4. So when you think about this forbearance, even if you had the opportunity to have it and you have your money, make sure you understand, can you afford to come up with all of that at one time? Because I see a mortgage crisis start happening all over again. If you're watching the market, almost every house that's sold, people had to reduce the price to sell it. And so be very conscious and aware, like if you don't need it and if you can afford to pay it, even if it's late, because they're going to waive your late fee. If you're paying it on the 29th of the month, or you can pay April on May 2nd, and you can pay May on May the 19th, find a way to pay or put your funds aside. So when that day comes July, you may, have 2/3 of it, but you want to make sure, and they're not going to foreclose on you during this time period. But when this time period is up, trust and believe they're going to come for people who have not paid their mortgage. And it's unfortunate, Darlene, I got a feeling that they're going to do what they did last time. The individuals lost their homes and suffered, but the banks who wouldn't give them a relief are going to get a relief. So just understand how this works so that you don't get caught out there. Oh, I ain't got to pay my mortgage. And then you lose your home that you worked so hard for.
Right. And I just want to add to that, Rita, for renters. And it varies by state. And the same thing with the mortgage protection. These forbearances, anyone can get them, but they are mandatory. The mortgage holders have to do it if you have a Fed-backed loan. But in terms of renters, they have put, and again, it's going to vary by state, they have put a moratorium on evictions. But in some states, that does not mean that they cannot still go and file for your eviction. That just simply means right now you cannot be set outdoors if you do not pay your rent. But when all of this lifts and they have gone to court and filed eviction paperwork, then yes, you can be evicted at that time. So you definitely want to make sure that you communicate with your landlord if you are a renter, because they are saying some states have a hold on rent payments, but that does not mean that your rent is necessarily forgiven. It just means that right now you don't have to pay it. The same thing with the mortgage forbearance. When the end comes, your landlord is going to expect that money. So you want to communicate with them to make sure at the end of this, you don't still get evicted, because they can still process you for evictions in certain states.
And I think it's important to know that this is for your rent, but if you have an office like us, our landlord made it very clear that they're not getting any of this COVID-19 money and relief. They still need their rent money for an office that you're not in, because they said they got to still keep the lights on, they still got to clean the building, and they still got to do everything, cleaning up the building, landscaping. So they still want their money. You may be late, you may not get a late fee, but they're asking for their money, and they're sending us, I know my building, my landlord, they sending us all kind of COVID-19, how to apply for loans because they want their money. So if you have a business, don't think that the rules that apply for your home is the same for your office. So make sure you be in contact with your landlord there as well.
Absolutely. And the next option that has been the relief option made available are student loans. So if you are out of college, you're getting ready to come out of college, or you have student loans that you are responsible for paying right now, those payments have been deferred until September the 30th of this year. Now, during that deferral time, no interest is accruing. However, these payments you still have to contact your provider, your loan provider, and let them know you want to pause your payments. Because if you do not contact them, this is not done automatically where the payments, they say, oh, okay, well, they don't have to pay. If you don't contact them, then they are going to assume you are just not paying the loan. And then the process for default on your loan is still going forth. So you want to make sure you call your loan provider and tell them to pause your payments under the CARES Act. And when you do that, no interest is going to accrue during this deferral period. Also, no involuntary debt collections. Those are suspended, meaning garnishments because of your student loans. So again, they're not supposed to be doing that. If your employer has been taking out money from your paycheck because of the student loans, contact your employer and say, hey, no, right now this is deferred until September the 30th. And there will be no adverse action towards you in terms of the your student loan debt if you push it off. So that's some good news for people out there, because when you don't have to make certain payments and you do have some funds, you're able to funnel that money over to another line item in your budget, like your mortgage or your rent or your car payment. Oh, the same thing, Rita, we should tell them for your car payments as well. Contact your loan provider and ask them for forbearance. But you want to find out what's going to happen. Do I have to pay it at the end? Can you put it on the back for me? Can you extend it for me? You want to make sure you're talking to your lenders to get the relief that you need.
And I would say to all of this, if you don't need this assistance, if you still have a job and you still have a paycheck and you was paying your money before COVID-19, you was paying your bill, because you can get a relief from your student loan. If your student loan is coming out your paycheck and you're still getting a paycheck and your financial situation has not changed, do not stop it, because you're just causing more interest to be added on to your debt. So for everybody that's listening, if you can still afford to pay your debt, continue to keep paying and not take these relief unless you just maybe don't have anything saved and you want to take a couple months to take that money and put it into a reserve account. That makes sense. But just to be like, oh, I don't have to pay, not so much. So I would suggest that you don't do that. And so then we think about our retirement account, we're looking at the withdrawal method. So Darla, we could talk about they're not charging you a 10% penalty for withdrawing your funds if you're prior to 59 and a half, and they're no subject to mandate. So if you normally take out your IRA or your 401k or your thrift saving, they automatically take out that 10 or 20% taxes. They are not taking that out. So they understand that people are having to pull from their retirement plan prior to when they want to, because if you're back up against the wall, you're going to get your services, and they allow you to repay the fees and the tax over a 3-year time period. So what I will say to you though, if you have lost your job in February or March or April of 2020, you do not have a job, and you decide to withdraw from your retirement plan, I would say have your accountant to look at it, because it may be better for you to claim all of that this year when you have a low income. If you get another job and next year you back to making 100,000, and now you've stretched this withdrawal out, now you having a higher tax bracket because you took it all, because you didn't take it all at one time. So if you normally make 100 grand, and because you lost your job and you now only made 20 grand so far this year, and you withdraw 30 out of your retirement plan to take you to the end of the year, but your income is only 60 grand or 50, you're at a lower tax bracket than if you wait till next year or later and you get another job. So just be, when you're about to pay it back, look at your situation. Just because things are available for us to take, that doesn't mean that it's the best thing for us. It's the best option. So I just wanted to make sure you understand that when it talks about it. And Darlene, you could talk about the loan method.
Yeah, so the two ways to get the money out of your retirement account, one Rita just went over, you just withdraw it right out. Now, another option that is available for you is that you can take a loan against your account. Now, when you take a loan before the CARES Act, the most you could withdraw was 50% of the account balance. Now they have done away with that, and they have increased the amount that you can actually withdraw from, take a loan against on your account. They increased that to $100,000, and you're also able to take a loan against 100% of the vested amount in your accounts. So if your account has $100,000 in it, then you can take a loan for the whole $100,000 out of your account, where in the past you could only do 50% or $50,000. Now, if you take a loan, so you need to wait, if you absolutely are pushed against the wall and your retirement account is the only money that can save you during this time, then you want to look very carefully at which option you choose. Because when you do the loan version of withdrawing your money, your payments are actually delayed for 1 year from the date that you took out the money. So yes, so it's deferred through the end of the year, and depending on when you take it, it can be deferred for up to 1 year. So if you take that loan, you may have a year. Again, it's going to depend on who your employer is and your plan. But at least the payments, the loan payments, are deferred for till the end of the year or maybe 1 year. So you want to really think about, do I want to just take it all out and then that's it? And then the same thing with the loans, you can actually spread that out. You have a longer period to pay it back, and the loans don't count towards income. So remember that.
Yes, and then we have the RMDs. So what that means is that the Uncle Sam, when you reach 72 and a half now, it used to be 70 and a half. So if you had not reached 70 and a half by the end of 2019, the new rule is 72 and a half. But if you had already reached 70 and a half by the end, your RMD age is that point. And what they're saying, that this is when the Uncle Sam said, for that qualified money, for that thrift saving, for that IRA, for that 403B, for those 457, those are pre-tax, tax-deferred funds. At some point, the IRS says that we need our tax money. And what they have done, though, for this CARES Act is that for any unwanted, or if you no longer need your RMDs, you may return them back to your financial account and not have to take the tax hit. So that's a good thing for people who didn't need the money, but a lot of people have money in their accounts, but because they're of that age, Darlene, they're forced to have to take the money out. They're giving you an opportunity to waive that RMD. Now, there is no relief for beneficiaries who took the RMDs already. So if your father passed away, your mother, somebody, an auntie, and they left you RMD money, there's no relief except if it's a spouse. You're able to take the money and put it back into your own retirement account, not back into the inherited one, but you can put it into another account for yourself. So just understand all the rules. If you don't need the money, but you don't want to put it back, feel free to call us and can help you come up with some solution of what you can do. But I want you to understand, you guys have some rights now, but I just say before you make a decision like, yeah, I can just withdraw everything, pay everything late, look at all of the options and what best suits you and how will you be able to pay these things back or make the adjustments. So they're good for the people who truly need it. But if you really don't, I suggest that you just continue living your life as you have already been. And so then when we think about our retirement, the market has been it's been up and down. Some days you're like, yay, some days you're like, and so the question for many people is that, do we want to continue to have our funds go on the roller coaster ride? And the question that many are asking, I have so many clients call me, Rita, should I stay in the market or should I leave the market? Should I put it in safety? And of course, that's an individual decision. It determines what are you trying to get out the market? How long are you going to work? What is your risk tolerance? Some people like the risk. They like the roller coaster ride, Darlene. They're okay with the drops. Now, I was a roller coaster junkie. I would get on the roller coaster and I would have my hands up in the first seat, going down, screaming, all excited when it come back up. I really loved it when I was on a real roller coaster. But when it comes to my money, not so much. And so the question you got to determine, are you allergic to the losses? And you may want to look at, how can I take the part of my retirement plan that I want safe? Where can I put that? And the solution for many people have been what's called a fixed indexed annuity. And if you are retired, the roller coaster ride is even more alarming to you because taking out your income could be impacted if the market drops. So if you're losing a big portion and you're getting $5,000 a month or $6,000 a month or $3,000 and the market dropping, your income is based on that, your income per month could be less. And so looking at an option that would be able to give you a guaranteed income for the rest of your life, it is a fixed index annuity. And history, Darlene, repeats itself. So let's make sure that we don't have amnesia and understand, what does that look like for us if we don't pay attention?
Going to take a quick look back down memory lane of the roller coaster we've all been on. Said, it's one thing when you're doing it for fun in real life on a roller coaster. But what I just showed you, what we just shared with you, that graphic, and that's your money, and you're looking over the edge of going down. And that's exactly what happened to us in February. We went to bed and woke up the next day and was like, where did my money go? I just lost 30%. I've spoken with people who were scheduled to retire in April. Guess what? They're not retiring. Why? They were dependent on their 401k to provide their income, and it took a 30% hit. And we have to remember, when the market comes back up, it's coming up from your low. So if it has if you had 100,000 and it dropped 30%, you're down to 70,000. When it comes back up 30%, you only made $2,100. You're still not at that $100,000.
Absolutely.
So a 30% loss and a 30% gain does not equal 100. It doesn't equal zero. You're still below. So we have to ask you, are you enjoying the roller coaster ride? Rita and I, in our seminars, when we do our workshops, even on here, we have reminded you, and I want to remind you again, because we got some good news. I was watching yesterday, Gilead Laboratories, they're having some success with a treatment option. So everyone's excited about that. Today is a good day. The market is up. We want it to come back. But as Rita said before, we have to remember amnesia and euphoria are a Molotov cocktail for our finances. It's going to blow up. And that's exactly what happened to a lot of us. Because in 2008, how old were you? In 2010, how old were you? In 2016, how old were you? You were still able to work. You weren't really, retirement was on your mind, but you still had time. And in 2020, you were ready to pull the trigger and walk on out the door. And then the roller coaster took a steep dive because we forgot what happened to us when the market dropped in 2008. We've been on an upward climb for the last 12 years, the longest bear market in history. And so we completely forgot that the market could go down because we were so euphoric about the returns. This is the opportunity for you to not let history repeat itself again, because we went through the same thing again, Rita, when? After 9/11. And we're decimated.
Mm-hmm. You know, Darla, I think the biggest issue is that I went to training in January, I think, and one of the experts said that the baby boomers are going to be the first generation to run out of money. Now, what the Lord told me was it's because what you just said, most of the boomers, that people that are between, 55, 58 and 65, 70, you guys have lived during the last 30 years, 35 working year that have been the best ever. But I don't believe our finances, as we know, I don't think the world is ever going to be the same. And so I think what we people believe was that the market will come back just like it has in the past. And I'm not saying, I'm not a predictor, I'm not a stockbroker, I'm not telling you what it's going to do, but I think that to me is why he said they're going to run out of money, because they're waiting for that big push again that may never be the same. And so what they're talking about is that how do you protect the pool of money that you want to guarantee, the pool of money that you want to make sure that you have a check that you cannot outlive. And I think it's important to understand that you want income that you cannot outlive. You want to be still living, and there's money still left if possible. And I think that's what he's saying. So I think he's saying that boomers going to run out because that amnesia is going to get them.
Exactly. And so as the Wall Street roller coaster operator is asking you, you want to go again? So you live with risk while you are working. Don't retire with it too. Get yourself some lifetime guaranteed income. Secure what portion of your current portfolio do you want to make sure will always provide you with that guaranteed lifetime income. Contact us if this is something that's resonating with you. If you feel like, yeah, I'm a little nauseous right now, I don't know what to expect, reach out to us, 301-577-6340. Give us a call. We can put together a plan that can help you. So in summary, do something today that your future self will thank you for. We here at Affordable Benefit Solutions, your Financial Fed Friday team, we are here to help you carry out that mandate. How do we do that? We are a full service financial solutions firm. We can help you with your retirement and your income planning. teach you how to have tax-free retirement income, how to secure certain pools of your money to make sure they're off the roller coaster ride, and so you can sleep at night. Don't you want to have sweet peace and sleep again, knowing your retirement is safe and secure? We can help you with that. Rollovers, IRA, estate planning. This COVID-19, and people are passing away, our older generation, the most vulnerable. Also, that's where our most knowledge base is located. Rita, that is serious. And these people are dying. My girlfriend, I have know personally of 3 people that have passed away from this COVID-19, and they were not all elderly. One was 55. We were just together at the beginning of the year for our after New Year's holiday brunch, and now she's gone. I could not believe it. So estate planning. Do you have all of your wishes outlined? Have you thought about if something happens to me today, because literally everyone, it could be today. This virus is silently creeping into our household. Don't you want to make sure that if something were to happen to you, that not only that you would spare your family, they're going to grieve for you, but they don't have to also go through the emotional agony of fighting and figuring out how we're going to make it. Contact us and let us help you put together some estate planning tools. Insurance services. We do everything. We often say GoFundMe is not an insurance policy. And guess what? People don't have the money now to help fund your GoFundMe. A small policy for yourself to make sure that you can say, hey, no matter what, you're going to be taken care of. Because guess what, you all? When we don't think about life insurance the way it's actually meant. You pay a small premium now, but when you go, it comes alive at the moment when you and your family are going to need it the most. It's going to still provide the peace of mind your loved ones need, that, hey, we can keep the lights on. We don't have to move out of our house. My children can still go to school. That's what a life insurance policy does. That's how you show real love to your loved ones. You get sick or hurt and can't work. We protect everything. We have insurance on our phones, on our cars, but we don't have any protection on the thing that keeps everything else plugged in, our income. That's what disability income is. Also, long-term care. Call us. Let us put together a plan for you. We know this has been on your mind. You are retired. You may have a few health situations. As we age, our body just tends to break down. Long-term care is your protection for your retirement income. You have worked a long time to get the portfolio that you have. And when this opens up, you're going to want to travel again. But if a long-term care issue happens, that money is gone. Rita?
I think it's so important, Darlene, that people be proactive in this, because I've had a few people call me lately and that they're sick, or, they need long-term care, but now they need to care. Like, insurance companies are not just taking straight up risk because now you wanted to wait till, like, I had a really close person call me. They're in the hospital about to have heart surgery for a valve, and now they want to buy life insurance. I've been talking to them about that for 20 years. I'm going to do it. And now they're in the hospital afraid they're going to die. Now they want life insurance. You need to be proactive with all of your solutions. It's like when we build a house, the foundation of the house is savings, but the walls and the roof, that is your insurance. How do you protect your financial situation and to keep the roof on top? You're not going to just build a house and not have a roof, right? So how you want to build your whole financial portfolio, live your life, and not have the things that can just wipe your assets out in a heartbeat, like not have insurance. And maybe it's really personal for me, Darlene, because my mother died when I was 11. And so I understand what it's like to have a parent gone and not have enough money to last all 3 kids until they finish college, if that's an option, or, being able, so it's a lot that that you need to look at and not just take it for granted. It's not like we're trying to put something on you. Look at your own situation. Ask yourself, is there enough if something were to happen to me? And some of y'all got these grown kids. These grown kids are not thinking about insurance. And when they pass away, that risk is going to be on you. Is it worth you putting $15, $20 aside to make sure that you can have a solid plan, that you're not doing a GoFundMe for them? So I think it's important for you to understand these services are designed to help you fill in any of the gaps that you may have so that your family is not looking at each other when you're gone. They love you, but now they got an attitude.
Right. Of course, we can also help you with your credit and debt, putting together a plan to help you get your credit and get your debt under control. As Rita said, let's be proactive instead of reactive. And guess what? Your Financial Fed Friday team is here to help you do that. So contact us today so that we can map out a strategy to help you put all the pieces together, because that's what we are. We are peacemakers and strategy may wakers.
I like it. We're about to have some fun, y'all. We're about to have some fun party over here.
Yes, so on our next broadcast, which will be the first Friday in May, and it's May 1st, we're going to have Financial Fun Friday. And so we want you to join us. It's going to be a completely different format because we're going to be having coffee and donuts. And we want to bring you all on. Talk back to us. We talk to you. We're going to have some fun. We're going to play some games. We may have some prizes. And we just want to be a relief valve and a release valve for all of this pent up energy that's going on. And so we want to bring you on. We want to talk to you. I'm going to have some donuts. So I'm going to venture out there and I'm going to give me some donuts because I have been wanting donuts. The first day of the 30-day challenge, I ended up at Dunkin' Donuts and couldn't get any.
You could get in, but you wasn't supposed to go in.
Right. So just please join us for Financial Fun Friday. As I said, head over to the Financial Fed Friday page on Facebook. Join the group. We're going to be posting a lot of information on there, giving you more updates. So please join us for coffee and donuts. Get out your best mug. Have your favorite donut, which mine is chocolate cake and or cake donuts. Anything with chocolate glaze. I just love donuts, you all. I know my waistline don't need it. Jerry, I know I can hear you over there. I know it's not good for me, that sugar, refined ingredients. But it's one day, Jerry. It's one day, you all. Sophia, it's one day. It's just Fun Friday, one day.
Well, y'all know the coffee is for me, right? Because, I'm trying to, help. I know I'm an addict. I'm working on it, but good old Java. And I wish we could get to our place right now. But when you get back, you guys, we do have our Fed Friday swag. So if you want a mug, we got mugs, we got notebooks. So we'll get back and you can have your morning coffee.
Yeah, so that's everything on May 1st. Join us. If you have a question, if you have a comment, please type it in the chat box. Send us a question. We'll answer it right here live. So that's everything. We appreciate you staying here with us. We are your Financial Fed Friday team from Affordable Benefit Solutions. You can always contact us at 301-577-6340, or you can shoot us an email at FFF, that's for Financial Fed Friday, at yourabsolutionsinc.com. Please reach out to us. We hope you enjoyed and that you picked up what we were putting down. So if you have a question, let us know.
I got a question. Well, I got a comment. Clarissa Darden Sellers. Thank you, Clarissa. She says some loans are also offering skip payment. So if you have a loan, just reach out to your bank or the lending institution and see what are their provisions. So you may be able to skip a payment and they put that on the back end or just skip it all together. So make sure you reach out. So thank you, Clarissa, for sharing that with us. So you guys we got some information. We don't always have all of it. So feel free to share because I feel like this is a team effort and you guys are part of our team. So thank you, Clarissa, and anybody else that share.
Yeah, so we appreciate you joining us today. Meet us back here for coffee and donuts on May the 1st, and we will look forward to seeing you on the broadcast. Take care, everyone. Stay safe.
Bye. Happy weekend. It's party time. We're gonna be partying in our house. I think it's a concert tomorrow night, y'all. Y'all going? It's at 8 o'clock on TV.